time I was dining out. Had to bring grinding back. Doing the drills and working the wheel where you're grinding at. You know what it be. Playing this here for the keeps. Had to make out with a feast. A family to feed. Third cold where the trophy should be. EA got me in the game now. Breed on with the gang now. They're here with a lane now. My home second with a rain now. Legendary on the field. Kinda drip is a skill. It's the highest cruiser bill. Ain't nothing to the hill. We just slip on, spin move, in zone, scope. Off the sideline, a touchdown, I put on the show. I had to kick off and go. I had to kick off and go. We just slip on, spin move, in zone, scope. Off the sideline, a touchdown, I put on the show. I had to kick off and go. I had to kick off and go.
That's a lot of it. 4 coops, 4 seasons, drop the top of it. Bust down, but my wrist, time to talk a lot of. I got both my girls head to toe designer. Drip, little bit. Let me feel myself a little bit. Little bit. You ain't talking big. Get out my way, little bit. I can't hear the hate, got a lot of it. Take these bands to the bank, let them rot in it. So much ice on me, I wish I had 2 necks. I got homies that can sleep without 2. I got homies that can sleep without Gucci and Chanel, I got a lot of it. Walk up in the spot like, hey, what poppin' in? Gon' pop it for me cause I'm rich and poppin' in. Yeah, drip, little bit. Let me feel myself a little bit. Little bit. You ain't talking big. Get out my way, little bit. She gon' put it on me, that's a lot of it. 4 coops, 4 seasons, drop the top a bit. Bust down, but my wrist, time to talk a lot of. I got both my girls head to toe designer. Drip, little bit. Let me feel myself a little bit. Little bit. You ain't talking big. Get out my way, little bit. West LA, that where you find me though. Cha-cha matcha with a rockin' black clothes. Whippin' around that Batmobile, duckin' 5-0. If you step to me, then be prepared for smoke, lil' bro. Let me feel myself a little bit. Let me blow this down a little bit. Drip, little bit. Let me feel myself a little bit. Little bit. You ain't talking big. Get out my way, little bit.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Carolinas and Bank of America Stadium here in Uptown Charlotte. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Washington football team and the Carolina Panthers. Just about time to rock as Toe gets ready to meet leather. And off we go from Uptown Charlotte. Fielded in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And some room to roam now. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. A big play there on the first play of the game. 65 yards on the ground. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Bridgewater. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll run for the first time with Trenton Cannon. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
The ball carrier.
Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
No gain
on that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held him to no gain.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Now it's a bootleg with Bridgewater. Strong coverage by Washington, and now 4th down.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it, and oftentimes knock it away.
A 32-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason, to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
That's fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
25-yard line.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
At the 23, it's 2nd and 12. Now Taylor. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
A gain of 21 yards.
Well, remember, they tried to give him the ball and let him run on the last play, but I think the light bulb went off in their play caller's mind, and this time they get it to him the more conventional way, and it's much more successful as well.
For the first time with Peyton Barber. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down.
At the 43-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's a quick throw out wide. It's McLaurin. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A gain there of 21 yards. That's how you draw up the run-pass option right there. You get a chunk play out of it.
And you know quarterbacks love to throw the RPOs because oftentimes they're in-breaking routes, but receivers love it even more. The ball gets to them quickly, allows them to put some moves on in the secondary.
On 1st down, it's Taylor. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here.
2nd and 10.
Taylor incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Taylor. Open man is Samuel. Complete. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Now Aldrick Rosas for the field goal attempt. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will tie us at 3-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players, football athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Take over 1st and 10. At their own 21-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around. 1st and 10. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
The ball carrier.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Bridgewater now. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
So much about defending the pass is being able to be right there at the moment the ball gets to the receiver. And he was right in his hip pocket, helping force that incompletion.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. He got his target, Samuel. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The connection there, Bridgewater to Samuel for a Panther 1st down.
10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Bridgewater going to give this to McCaffrey. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, coaches stress their defense being physical. They don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
Second and 12. This is McCaffrey. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
On the carry.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
An extra man in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. Bridgewater, a play fake to McCaffrey. He'll look to throw. That'll be caught by his tight end, Ian Thomas. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Throwing, Bridgewater. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run. This is Cannon. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Now whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. Boy, not what you want to see in quarter 1 of the new year. We'll be back. Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. From the gun, Bridgewater. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 9-yard line. 13-yard line. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
The 13-yard line.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
These two teams all tied after 1.
With the score tied 3-3.
Second and 5 from the 8. Bridgewater to throw it. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And he's got it. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
First and goal at the 2-yard line.
A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. On the ground, McCaffrey. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. Second and goal from the 1. Again, McCaffrey. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Panthers have taken the lead. He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was. And when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
Taken about 7 yards deep. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll be out right at the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed.
Taylor hit. He lost the football. And now the ball comes loose. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Trying to get to the outside. This is McCaffrey. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Brought down back at the 21-yard line.
Nice hit, boy. Like, Woody, I got you. I got you. Mike 51.
Here's Bridgewater. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. From 21 yards away. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead. Sly on for the extra point.
Great field position has to be one of the best friends an offense can have. When you don't have very far to go, you should cash it in with points.
Makes the score Panthers 17. Washington 3. Joey Sly to kick off for Carolina.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
25-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Push him back. Push him back. Stop that right. Right there. 54. Right there. 54 Mike. And we got to get to the ball.
From the shotgun, it's Taylor. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
On third down, Taylor. And that will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's fourth down.
That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's fourth down.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. That's taken on the 25. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal on their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
In on the stop, the safety, Troy Apke.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, watch the ball, 56, the mark, boy, 56, check 56.
They go play action. Bridgewater. Into the hands of his receiver, Anderson. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
At the 40-yard line.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. To throw is Bridgewater. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. Then he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
Intercepted.
That was just one of those interceptions from our perspective here. We got a good view at the 50-yard line mid-level that quarterback and receiver were not on the same page.
Just by his reaction, I'm talking about the quarterback, he expected something different from his receiver, whether he expected him to break in, out, deeper, shorter. They'll determine that on the sideline. But bottom line, you could see that he thought he'd be in a different spot, except the defender was not his intended target.
He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. They'll run with McKissick. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Taylor. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington.
To J.D.
McKissick, 29 yards. And Washington able to make this a close game again. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone.
17.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And that slices the lead down to 17-10. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. taken about 7 yards deep. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
10 at the 43-yard line.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
The ball carrier.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
From the 38, Bridgewater to the right side, and he's got more complete. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're talking about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
That's good.
They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
30-yard line.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Bridgewater. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing is Bridgewater. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's Taylor. That one caught by Gibson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 7 yards there and a first down.
A gain of 7. First down, Washington.
And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From midfield now, here's Taylor. And that is incomplete. Deebo Samuel was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line.
Able to hit on a big play right there in the 2-minute drill. And now they've got a chance to use all the remaining clock and build on their lead right before halftime.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. To throw, Bridgewater. They'll let this go for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. They're set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there, just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
54 mark. Check. 154. There we go. 54.
From the gun, Taylor. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
24-yard gain on the play. First down, Washington.
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Derek Brown able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12.
You can't block me. 54 mark.
Now they try the right side here. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
To throw is Taylor on 3rd down. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They go jet sweep here with Williams. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made by Ole Miss's Marquise Haynes.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
On 2nd down, Taylor. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
Third and long, it's Taylor. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
Down Washington.
Now a handoff working right. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Taylor now to throw on third down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to make it fourth down. And no field goal try here from the red zone. Offense out there. They'll go for it on fourth. They'll try and throw for it with Taylor. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. They opt to go for it, and they get it. First and goal after a pickup of 5. So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. A big play if you think about it right now in this season opener. It's third and goal. Operating from the gun, Taylor. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle.
And that's caught inside the 35. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line.
First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. Here's Bridgewater. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. And give credit to Reuben Foster, the linebacker, getting a hand in to disrupt.
Brings up second and 10.
Second and 10, third quarter of the season opener. Bridgewater, a play fake to McCaffrey. He'll look to throw. And he's got it complete to Anderson. Touchdown, Carolina! Robbie Anderson. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And thanks to the interception, the Panthers offense cashes in with 6. And the lead is up to 14.
Is good. Makes the score Panthers 24, Washington 10. Joey Sly to kick off.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
2nd and 10 now. 3rd quarter from Charlotte.
A carry now for McKissick. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And we're back now in Charlotte.
It's Washington with the football, but trailing here as we begin quarter number 4. Washington on 3rd down.
They've converted 3 times and 8 chances. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
From the gun, Taylor. Got his target, Samuel. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. If they had designs of kind of wiggling their way back into this one, that hurts their chances right there.
They had to put it mildly. Look at the lead, look at the deficit, trying to make a play downfield. Everyone seeking to be somewhat the hero. Didn't turn out that way at all, and you're exactly right. It's going to take a lot for them to have a chance to win this one now.
And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive.
Following the interception, here's Bridgewater.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. So here, the men in charge are going to be looking at whether or not the receiver had possession of the ball as he went out of bounds.
And they have to make sure that the receiver got both feet down in bounds as well.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now a run with McCaffrey. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
A 4-yard.
Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
Fly on for the field goal. A 24-yard attempt.
And his kick is indeed good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
After the made field goal, here's Sly to kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this fourth quarter. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
21 yards.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's McKissick. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
A good yardage there on 1st down, exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Now left side on the swing pass, and he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Number 19. Deebo Samuel, 37 yards. And Washington able to close the gap just a bit. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And it looks like the Panthers' hands team does its job. In 4th quarter, it felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Bridgewater on 1st down. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
That's a 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Switch up. Mike, 55.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 11 yards in the Panther 1st down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Bridgewater. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down.
Intended for DJ Moore.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And goal to go.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And the ball situated at the 9. 2nd and goal. They'll run again with Cannon. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Bridgewater. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out.
For the Panther field goal. A 24-yard attempt.
And his kick here is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3. But clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off. But it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
30-yard line.
So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing again on 2nd down. Taylor got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
It's a gain of 25 yards. First down, Washington.
On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Dante Jackson picks it, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And still a little bit of time left, but the defense can't stop the clock, so 3 kneel downs should be enough to finish this one off. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. And that'll set them back 5. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in week 1. And just how they envision the start of the season, kneeling it down, defense can't stop the clock. This one's a winner.
You know what's really strange? I think a lot of people think that the kneel-down practice stuff really only happens like one time a week. The best teams I know, they practice it starting back in OTAs. They want them to visualize winning a game and how great that feels, and they got it done in this one.
Yep, a knee gets them to 1-0. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. And now I'm listening to you. So for the Panthers, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they'll have another home date next week as the Miami Dolphins come to town. Meanwhile, for Washington, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
We did a lot for the wins. Came in and drop on the 10. Now we on top once again. Yeah. I had to tighten the plan, I got it right in the end, now we on top once again. I don't want it if it ain't love. If it ain't, get it away from me. Who you gon' drink if it ain't us? LABB to the bakery. Some mad that I came up. I know my granny gon' pray for me. It was just us in the vacancy. We had to get it from A to B. World never felt like this. 2 seats in the hills, how I feel righteous. Blue sheets for the mills, but the deal priceless. New keys can't care what's still private. I might just double it up. Did it? Never enough, I'm with it. 5, 2, 3 on the business. Whole team got wins and the wheel still spinning. I told them what I told them. We did a lot for the wins. Came in and drop on the 10. Now we on top once again. Hey, I had to tighten the plan. I got it right in the end. Now we on top. Got a spot and it's locked to the click. All